I feel like Bono in the mid-80s.
And it's time for this.
Ocean Drives films with Eclipse Dine-In Cinemas Bundoran. Now serving pizza, hot dogs, ice cream, and more to your seat. Find out more at Eclipse Cinema.
It is time to join our man at the movies, Collie McFadden, with the very latest from Eclipse Cinemas in Bundoran. You're looking very strange looking today, I have to say.
Thank you very much, brother. No, okay, I won't do that. I promise myself no wrestling impressions today. But I was an impressionable child and I loved me my wrestling. And this week midterms coming up, so the majority of the movies we're going to talk about are family movies and something for midterm. But we're good, like the big movie this week for grown-ups, sort of, is The Iron Claw, which is a true story of a wrestling family. And I must admit, I love me a bit of wrestling. And I watched the trailer for this a couple of weeks ago, Seamie, right? And I started with all the wrestling stuff from my era, from the early 80s into the 90s. And they had my favorite band, Rush, on the soundtrack. And I went, I am so in to watching this movie. I'm so excited about this movie. And then today I got to go and see it. So it's a big release. It's called The Iron Claw. And we're going to play a clip in a moment, but it stars Zac Efron, who's more famous for song and dance stuff. But of course, there is a lot in common between wrestling and being a song and dancer. It's all ballet, it's all acrobatics. And of course, a couple of the stars, including Jeremy Allen from The Bear, who just won a load of Emmys, and Horace Dickinson, who's one of the next big incoming English actors. But they're all playing this Texas family called the Von Erichs. Why don't we play the clip and we'll have a little talk about it afterwards.
The challengers from Denton, Texas, weighing in at a combined weight of 690 pounds, Kevin, Kerry, and David Von Erich.
Look at my beautiful brothers.
The Von Erichs are the greatest family in the history of wrestling.
You like to rumble, they do indeed. I tell you, it looks absolutely fantastic. Well shot, great stars, and looks. And the music sounds great.
Yeah, soundtrack made for you, absolutely made for you. And look, the story is, so it's about this Texan family. So the father, Jack, but he took a stage named Fritz Von Erich, and he was a wrestler just after the 1950s, where in wrestling all the bad guys pretended to be German and Nazis, and that's why they had that name. But he had he had 5 sons actually, and grew up to be big. 4 of them grew up to be big, strong lads, and he put them into wrestling business. And he was the promoter as well, which means he owned the program, and he pushed his own sons. And they were big, huge local stars. But around this time, telly came in, and they started to go national. And the thing is, like they don't pretend that it isn't preordained, but they do point out that you still have to show up, you still have to perform, and if you don't perform and get the crowd either to hate you if that's your job or to love you if that's your job, you are not going to make money. There's still an element of you have to be the best. And he said to his kids all the time, and you heard the way he treated them there, ranking your own children about who's the favorite or not, and put it there. And all he said was, got to be the best. If you win the championship, and of course the way you won the title was by being the money maker. If enough people wanted to watch you on telly, either to hate you or to love you, then they would decide to put the belt on you. And there's a whole thing about that. But which of the kids are going to get it? Now, all not interesting, but those who know will know the Von Erich story takes a twist. And like a lot of wrestlers at that time, nearly all the wrestlers of my youth, most of them are dead. And one of the reasons is there was no insurance company would take them. They were on the road 300 nights a year. If you don't perform, you don't get paid. So if you twist an ankle, the only thing to do is take a load of painkillers and keep on going. And that takes a toll on the body. And, the Von Erichs, you heard at the start there, they thought they were cursed. And you're going to find out why in this story. Now, what was interesting today, my brother is up, because I was telling you last week, I had a little operation. My brother's been up to help me. And as a treat, I brought him to the cinema to watch the preview today. I knew all about this story because I was wrestling mad as a kid. And while I don't watch it anymore, I love the behind the scenes stuff. I've read some of the books about, once they revealed how they did the stuff. Whereas my brother knew nothing, never liked wrestling, didn't know anything about the story. And we both really enjoyed this movie. Now, he was surprised that it's so fun and it's all about wrestling. And I love my brothers and how it takes a dark turn. And he's kind of turned around to me going, are they just playing this up or is this true? And I went, no, this is absolutely true. If anything, they're playing down how scandalous this story was. So it's really interesting. And what's more, it was made by a company called A24, who usually make horror movies. So it was kind of, even though they're up-and-coming stars, it's a relatively low-budget movie, but it was such a big hit in the States, they've given it a really big push here. And I think people will really enjoy it. Anybody who enjoys behind the scenes story, if you enjoy anything about sports underdogs or family dynamics, that's it. Don't worry about wrestling. You don't have to like wrestling. As a matter of fact, if you despise wrestling, it will be fine, because it's not really about wrestling, although it does show, while it is fake, the effort these people put in and the athleticism these people put in to do show after show. You have to be amazingly fit and amazingly hardy. And of course, it takes a toll. I really enjoyed this. It's not going to trouble Oscars or anything like that, but it's a really interesting story, very well told. As you said, it looks great. And like all through it, they use the 1980s style TV graphics and really get a sense of the era with the clothes and with the lifestyle and, the family with, it's God, guns and wrestling, and that's it. And like, you would think it's an American cliche if I hadn't read the books, and that's exactly who they were. Well recommended to anyone who that tickled their interest. I thought this really enjoyable. I think they'll enjoy this movie.
And when is it opening tomorrow, is it?
Opens tomorrow. So it's going to run for the next couple of weeks.
Okay, I'll look at it. Right. Will people be dressing up like you at it?
I would hope so.
You got to check out our video later, folks. You got to see what he's on.
I'm kind of encouraging this. Look, I just dragged this stuff out of the cupboard.
Oh, folks,
I nearly said out of the closet, but that might have given it away too much. No,
this is probably suitable for the movies we're going to talk about now. There's a lot of animation and kids' movies in.
Yeah.
And what do you want to kick off with? There's a French animation, Jungle Bunch.
Yeah, Jungle Bunch. We've got Jungle Bunch. We've got Turning Red, and we've got Peppa Pig. So it's very much midterm. And last week we were saying about migration. We hadn't had a kids movie for ages, and now all of a sudden we have 4. Migration's done really well on the bank holiday weekend because it's cold and rainy, and people want to bring their kids to something. And we've got lots too. Now, 2 aimed much at younger ages. The Jungle Bunch, again, it's kind of under 7s or 8. It's a sequel to a cartoon that did quite well. It's a bunch of cute animals on a world tour. I feel I've already done enough the plot of the Iron Claw. I don't feel I have to do this, and even less so do I have to do the plot of Peppa Pig. But I swear to God, not since the Avengers, when we started putting up the Avengers coming, and there was a buzz on the internet. The amount of buzz on our Facebook page in the cinema, right, for Peppa Pig. Once I mentioned Peppa Cinema Party, and there's people sharing it everywhere. People love Peppa Pig, and like, I don't have kids, but I'm led to believe that and Bluey, the ones that the parents don't hate. So they're going, she loves Peppa Pig and I don't mind Peppa Pig either. And it's, I think it's 65 minutes long, special ones made just for the cinema. And it's all about, I think Peppa goes to the cinema and first cinema experience.
Singing as well. And
a lot of singing and dance. I think it does encourage a lot of audience interaction. So it's very cute. And people have already sold like 100 tickets for Saturday morning. Like, people are really love it. Again, a bit lost in me, but I think,
I've seen loads of it, man. I've seen loads of it.
Peppa's a brand that ain't going away anywhere.
It ain't going away. Soon. It ain't going away. But I mean, you put it up,
But speaking of things that are coming back now, Turning Red is a movie you and I talked about during the pandemic. It was a big movie. It was planned for the cinema. And it was one of those, Disney took a turn and decided they were going to put everything on Disney Plus. Something that they're not happy about anymore. And they've changed their whole business plan. But one of the things they want to do, they realize not everyone has Disney Plus. So they're bringing some of these movies out and putting them back on the big screen. And we're going to get Soul and we're going to get Luca. But the first of these is Turning Red, which is a really cute Pixar movie where this girl, every time she gets upset or angry, she turns into a big red panda bear. It's very funny. And of course, it's a metaphor for puberty and all that sort of stuff. And how this lovely, cute kid suddenly turns into a monster when her mother gives out to her. But it's very clever. It's very well done. Some people will have seen it, but it is really, really good stuff. And again, this would be for the older kids. Maybe they haven't seen it yet. I'd recommend it.
Okay, that's Turning Red, folks. Well worth the watch. Quick mention, Madam Web. coming?
Madam Web and Bob Marley, both
Marley.
on Valentine's Day. Madam Web, you're not going to be interested in. It's another superhero movie. She's kind of in this Spider-Man universe. Loads of people will like it. She's a much less known character. The one you're interested in, the Bob Marley biopic, opens on Valentine's Day, called One Love. I'm really interested to see it. Never really cared for Bob Marley's music, but I'm coming around to it now.
Oh, Bob Marley, simply absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to that. We'll be reviewing that next week. Quick mention, you have 10 seconds on Missed It Monday.
Missed It Monday is One Life. It was a big hit for us. The story of Nicholas Winton, who saved a load of Jewish children from the Nazis. It's very popular. It'll be very popular next Monday. One Life, only a £5.
Okay, look at great to talk to you as always. Will you go away and get that outfit off? Do check out the video.
I'll have to get my haircut for next week. Bye.
With